But all right, let's get into the news. We have a lot to talk about. I don't want to talk too much about Kendrick and Drake situation because it's a lot of rumors right now at this point. But obviously, since I didn't stream on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, a lot more stuff happened, including The Hard Part 6. So that dropped, and then Not Like Us dropped too. So outside of my own streams and my own content, I try to participate in some of the roundtable discussions, but just my overall thoughts on the beef as it stands today, May 7th. And again, I'm trying to be as objective as possible. Do I get news on TikTok and Lauren? Ronan, we're not talking about that right now. Like, Ronan, you are getting completely off subject. So Ronan, chill, don't post any links. Let's stay on topic. If we're not gonna stay on topic, then hold that link, hold your information until we get done with what I have to talk about. Anyways, getting back to The Hard Part 6. You're asking a question, but it has nothing to do with what we're talking about. We're talking about Kendrick versus Drake right now. Anyways, The Hard Part 6 came out, and honestly, like when it dropped, there was a lot of mixed emotions here. It was a lot of mixed emotions. You call it The Hard Part 6. You're like, okay, you're gonna timestamp me, so I'm going to do your thing. I'm gonna do your thing here. And when it dropped, I initially listened to it. I was like, okay, like he's getting to it. He said he's denying that he's a pedo. He's saying that he did in fact feed Kendrick the false information and you fell for it. You should have fact checked. And I was like, okay, that's a good angle. At least he's trying to dispel these things that Kendrick is claiming as fact. I'm not this, but that was first listen. Second and third listen, I was like, you know what, I'm wrong. I'm wrong on this, because there's a difference, people. And again, I harken this back to rap battles of yesteryear. And I harken this back to, actual battle rap leagues, URL, King of the Dot, stuff like that. Because, a lot of, in rap battles, the objective is to disrespect your opponent. And the stuff doesn't have to be true. It just has to sound good. So I want y'all to keep that in mind. A lot of rap battles, between actual rappers in the past, a lot of this stuff has not been true. And harken back and bring up an example between Jay-Z and Nas. Like, Nas said that, you're 37 in the karate class, you Taibo ho. Like, I don't think that anybody actually thought that, Jay-Z was in a Taibo class. And so what if he was? But it was funny as hell, right? Like, this is rap battle. Like, this is beef that we're talking about. So, the objective is to disrespect your opponent as much as possible and paint the narrative that, whatever you're saying is real, right? So I want y'all to keep that in mind when we're talking about this, because I feel like even though there was a lot of information that was being spewed, the internet, especially in this era, took a lot of these things to heart and was like, hey, well, you need proof. Where are your facts? And then people started investigating. The Twitter and internet detectives started investigating, and the reason why is because they were serious allegations. I don't think that if Drake just would have kept on his bravado talk saying, hey, like, I made all of you, like, why did you all do music with me if this is how you truly feel? You're short, Kendrick. Metro, shut your whole ass up and make some drums. Like, this stuff is funny, it's bravado talk. That's fine, you can keep that. But once you start getting into the seriousness of you're a pedophile, you are potentially hiding another child, you're a piece of shit, you take all these pills, you beat your wife or fiance, because we have to keep saying it, say wife, but it's fiance. So you beat your fiance, y'all separated, and your manager possibly had a child with your lady. Then we start getting on more serious stuff, and that's why I feel like more people were fact checking. But all the other stuff, like you said, is fluff, it's funny, you take it how you will, but it's a rap battle. Again, that's the point, right? That's the point. Yeah, a lot of people be lying, and that's just the gist of it. So I gotta call it down the middle both ways. Like, it's a lot of potential lies in here. We don't know what's real, we don't know what's not, so we kind of just gotta take it as it is. But again, the serious allegations is why people started really investigating. So again, we get to The Hard Part 6, and Drake tries to stomp on all of the allegations. He tries to literally neutralize everything that Kendrick has done with Not Like Us and Meet the Grams, right? But it backfired because again, and I don't feel like a lot of people were talking about this, but I mentioned on Twitter, I'm like, yeah, y'all are focusing on when I can't even say the fact, you're focusing on Drake saying that he fed Kendrick all of these lies. You're focusing on him denying that he's a pedo and saying, yeah, I'm famous. If I was a pedo, I would have been in jail already. But we're not focusing on, because there's a difference between lies that only people within like the parties involved would know, and then there's a difference between lies that we can verify. So Drake said that you got molested, and it was like, bro, literally what Kendrick said to you about like you're talking about like the family front because you heard Mr. Morale, but you misinterpreted it. Like literally people started going back and listening to it and was like, bro, you're wrong. Like he did not mention this. So it's like, again, why are you saying this? Like, do you truly believe that's real? Did someone tell you that he got molested, or were you listening and you misinterpreted? So that was wrong. And then he also brought up how Kendrick said that he was going to take his music off because of R. Kelly. So I'm like, bro, again, that is a lie. I'm like, it just so happened that it was XXXTentacion and R. Kelly that Spotify was threatening to take off because of those things that happened. And it wasn't even Kendrick. At the end of the day, it was actually Top Dog who did it and said that it wasn't fair. But it wasn't even Top. It wasn't because of R. Kelly. It was because of X. And Kendrick actually liked X and he supported X. So even if it was Kendrick, it wasn't because of R. Kelly. So he was trying to paint the narrative that, hey, you did this because of R. Kelly and you trying to call me a pedo, but you supporting pedos. And again, that's false. So I'm like, you're pulling up these things. And once I heard that, I'm like, man, this is just like, this is stupid at this point. Like I'm bowing out. Because if you're not even going to try to paint the narrative that these things are true and I can easily verify that these are false, then what are we doing right now? What are we doing? Like, are we having fun? Or are we really trying to get to like the actual facts? Because honestly, I think on both sides it was a lot of Twitter, there's a lot of social media that was involved in painting these lyrics on both sides, not just one side. But if Drake is telling the truth about him feeding like someone in his camp, or whether it was a mole or not, feeding Kendrick the lies about a daughter and him being a pedo and the pills and the glove and stuff like that, then again, that's stupid because it backfired on you. And if that is true, then Drake tried to play his hand and thought that the general public will be on his side, but they weren't, because people just gloss past that. I'm gonna be honest, people just gloss past that. There's a small subset of people when Meet the Grams came out that were talking about it, but I think when the Hard Part 6 came out and he said that he did it, people just glossed by it. I think at that point people didn't care anymore. People were focusing on Drake and these pedo allegations, and people started looking them up. They pulled up old tweets, they pulled up the video which constantly circulates of him and the 17-year-old on stage. They pulled up the Millie Bobby Brown stuff, they pulled up multiple other women, and they pulled up lyrics. Like, they just are going crazy on Drake. But I didn't see this same energy about Kendrick. The only stuff that I was seeing about Kendrick were rap lyrics. I'm gonna be honest, people started pulling up rap lyrics, and this is why I go back to, I feel like Drake, and especially in the Hard Part 6, was going off of Twitter tea. And like I said, I gotta apologize to Cammy, because this is exactly what it ended up being, unless we see or hear some actual proof. Like, I don't want any side to be talking about any of this stuff. I don't want any side to be talking about any of this stuff unless we can prove it. And even if we can, then what now? What now, right? Like, I don't think that Drake's fan base will fully abandon him if he was proven to be a pedo, right? I don't think that Kendrick's fan base will fully abandon him if he did, in fact, have a DV situation with his fiance. The whole thing about breaking up, who cares? It's his life, and that happened. It happened. They're no longer together. It's none of our business. And if Dave Free allegedly, had one of the kids, again, that's their business. That wouldn't make me feel different about Kendrick. But if the DV situation happened, would I feel different? Yes. But overall, is it my business? Is it my business? No. You take it how you will when it comes to morality. Because again, we harped on R. Kelly for so much. People harping on X for so much. But you know, at the end of the day, like there is a compartmentalization that can happen. You know, the people are going to judge you. You know, let them judge you if that's how you truly feel. If you like their music, listen to their music. I'm not going to judge you. I only judge when you start trying to, you know, act like it just didn't happen. Like I said, I feel a different way about R. Kelly, you know, after the situation happened. Sorry, but there are other rappers that have had plenty of DV cases, plenty of sexual assault cases, and a lot of people just forget or didn't know what happened and just gloss by it. So I'm not saying that it's right. Again, I want to rephrase it. I don't think that it is right, but a lot of people just gloss by it because a lot of these artists that have been in these situations have a nice catalog and people just like to listen to the music. Morally, nah. Like if I seen them on the street, you know, I wouldn't mess with them because I'd be like, yo, like, you know, you did this, like, dang, like that's crazy, right? But I can still listen to the music and not feel that way. Now, do I still listen to R. Kelly? No, you know, and it is, you know, mostly because of what happened. But like I said, I didn't listen to R. Kelly every day anyway. The only time I really heard R. Kelly was, you know, at Black Function, right? Like everybody's like everybody's trying to do the love slide, bro. Like it's you know, Happy People was going crazy. So like those are the only times that I really heard R. Kelly anyway. And even in my catalog. So it didn't really mean anything for me to, you know, remove myself from that, right? So so again, harkening back to the Drake and Kendrick situation, that's where I'm at right now. I'm just kind of like over it if we're going to continue to make songs about those specific allegations. And I feel like honestly, and it sounds like at the end of the Hard Part 6, Drake was just done. I just felt like he was just exhausted. He had no more in him. He got bored, or you know, it was just nothing else to talk about. He's like, yo, if you're gonna keep talking about this, which I fed you the lies, and if you're gonna keep going with this, then why even continue this? And I honestly think that Drake doesn't have anything else. Like if he truly has receipts on the DV situation, then just go ahead and show it, bro, because it's no point of continuing to talk about it. If not, then just keep your, you know, bravado talk and then just keep it moving. But even if you're gonna do that, I just don't want to hear anymore, because like I said, if y'all have nothing else in the chamber, then it is what it is. I think honestly we're at a good point that you know, you just choose who the winner is. You know, they're going to be Drake fans, they're going to say Drake won regardless. They're going to be Kendrick fans who said Kendrick won regardless. Right now I have Kendrick winning because I think that Drake overplayed his hand. Honestly, I think that Drake overplayed his hand with a black heart. And he thought that the Hard Part 6 was going to completely bring people on the side. But even his like downright Drake supporters, like they were crying, bro. Like they were crying because they knew that the track just wasn't as good as its other stuff. They really thought that it wasn't as good as it. So there are still some delusional people. There are still some deniers. Like I've heard people, Maul, for example, from Rory and Maul, he said that this was, you know, one of the best diss tracks he's ever done. I'm like, you can't be serious. That's why I'm like, when people say stuff like that, I'm like, nah, bro, you really can't be serious. Family Matters was great. You know, I feel like not too many people talking about push-ups anymore, because Family Matters was just a better diss track, especially if we're just going to count, you know, what we have here. What up, Ethos? But the Hard Part 6 was butt, and a lot of people were like, nah, like this ain't it. Like I don't know what you were doing. People saying, he was like, man, I know Drake wrote this by himself, because it was just, I don't know. And at the end, he just again sounded defeated. He was like, man, I would like not like us if it wasn't talking about the pedo stuff. But like, it's just, I don't know. It's just overall people didn't like it. He got more dislikes than likes on the YouTube side. So it was a bad track. You know, out of all the tracks, it just wasn't a good track by him. It wasn't a good track by him. It didn't need to come out. I felt like he should have went with some different angles instead of being on the defense. It's the first time we've seen Drake truly on the defense, because it's usually on the offensive onslaught, and then his fans, you know, just make it worse. Like I said, going back to Meek, when the Meek situation happened, I was on Meek's side, because I'm like, bro, he came out of nowhere and he was like, bro, like, you have this ghostwriter, and then he played the reference track in the song, and I was like, bro, like, I thought that you know, him coming out the gate with the diss like that was good. But then again, Drake and his infinite fan base, I'm like, you made Charged Up, which again, I don't think was that good. I honestly don't think Charged Up was that good, but back to back, you can't deny it. Back to back, you can't deny it. It ended up, you know, being so well that it ended up being a club hit. Like there were people who didn't even know what was going on, who listened to the song and, you know, couldn't even tell that it was a diss. You know, that's how it was. And he got the reverse on him. He honestly got the reverse that happened on him, and it was unintentional. It's like you were trying to paint him, in a different manner, and with that you got stepped on. You got stepped on because this man literally calculated what you did, and he dropped the track that we forgot about. We couldn't even fully dissect Family Matters because Meet the Grams came out so quickly, bro. Like, that was a crazy night. That was a crazy night. So he stepped on it. Didn't matter what you say. You made this whole visual, and then he just showed a picture, and you got stepped on. It doesn't matter whether the stuff was true or not. It was the strategy in it. The strategy fully stepped on it. And then he brought out Not Like Us. So he back-to-backed you. He back-to-backed you in the beginning with Euphoria and 616. And then he back-to-backed you again with Meet the Grams and Not Like Us. And Not Like Us became a freaking hit, bro. Do y'all know how crazy Not Like Us is going right now? Kendrick is doing numbers right now. Euphoria and Not Like Us are going crazy right now on the charts. Not Like Us is going crazy in the club. Not Like Us is on freaking TNT, bro. They were playing it on TNT. They were doing it with Euphoria too. I don't think y'all realize how crazy Not Like Us is. People are doing remixes. It's going insane right now. Look what Drake did, bro. And this man, he tried to call Kendrick a clout chaser. What does he need to chase? This man is a recluse. You just say he don't be dropping like that, but you inadvertently gave this nigga a hit. You gave him 2 hits, and he had a hit already with Like That. He had a hit already with Like That. That's not even his song. That's why I'm just like, bro, there's no way that you can say at this very time, May 7th, that Drake is winning. You cannot say that with a straight face. That is false. Being objective. Kendrick got a club banger out of this. He got a club banger out of this. And he's talking about you. It's a diss track. Bro, the Dodgers were playing it. Gavin Lux came out. This was his theme music coming out to bat, bro. And this man is saying certified lover boy, certified pedophile. Like, what are you talking about, bro? Nobody could have predicted that. This is a diss track, and it's going crazy like this. A diss track, and nobody cares. Nobody cares about the subject matter because it's a freaking bop, bro. You have quotables. Drake fans said from the beginning, ain't no quotables in this, bro. I can't listen to this. I can't listen to this in the car. This don't go up in the club. Okay, and Kendrick said, watch this. And look what happened, bro. It's crazy. It's crazy. So this is what I'm saying, bro. Like, at this point, May 7th, because it could turn around. We're going to see what happens, because let's get into the room. Let's just go ahead and get into the room right now. I have Kendrick up, man. Call me Kendrick D-Rod or somebody on Twitter saying, I'm like, bro, like, I'm just being objective just as a fan. Like, I thought that the Hard Part 6 was going to do something, but ended up, unfortunately, being a dub because people started investigating Drake more on this. Again, everything that he's trying is unfortunately backfiring on him. So there's no way that you can say that he's winning at this very point in time. You cannot say that he's winning at this very point in time. What up, Forza? So that's where we're at right now. So the rumors, let's get into the rumors, because there's a lot of stuff that actually happened today. And this is where I'm just kind of done with it. I'm really done with it because it's getting serious, and not just on the Kendrick side. It's getting serious in Toronto and other places. So actually, let me get on this because this happened this morning too. Poor Metro, bro. Poor Metro. He brought out the BBL jersey contest. You know, had people rapping on the beat, and yeah, Metro started getting cooked. I kin this to if you know you're at a lunch table at school and somebody getting roasted, bro. They just getting flamed up, just jokes flying, and Metro laughed too hard. He was laughing too hard, and then the person who was getting roasted looked at you and was like, "Oh, you laughing?" He was like, "All right, I'm about to cook you." So this is exactly what happened. They started pulling up Metro Boomin's old tweets. They called him Metro grooming, bro. I said, "Oh man, yep, I know you not laughing." They started pulling them up, bro. I'm like, see, this is what happened. Every celebrity, I'm gonna say this, every celebrity should clean their Twitter, bro. Delete everything. Where's my soundbite at? Where is my soundbite? Do this.
Delete all that shit. Delete all that shit. Let's play with you, piggy.
Delete it, because they will pull up stuff. They were pulling on stuff on Drake the other day, and now they got you. Now they got you. So they was like, damn, Metro grooming. He said the things I would do to Sierra are probably illegal. Well, I mean, and keep this in mind, Metro Boomin is 30. He's 30 right now to 2024. A lot of these tweets were 2011 to 2013. Again, I'm not shooting him any bail. I am just providing context. So in 2011, the man was 17. So again, just follow me. He was 17, but some of these tweets are still wild. It doesn't matter how old you are or how young you are. Some of these tweets were wild. I just want to also preface this. Again, I'm not shooting any bail, but 2011 on Twitter was a different place. It was the Wild West. A lot of people saying some crazy stuff. And this is how I go back to, you should delete all that stuff. If you on Twitter from 09 to 2013, delete that stuff. Because once you get famous, once you get popping, people gonna pull up this shit. And they did it. Another tweet said, I'm trying to tell one of my followers that age ain't nothing but a number. She might be young, but she ready. Now, some of these are lyrics. Again, some of these are lyrics. She might be young, but she ready. Like, we're going to delete that one. Yes, say, if I get a chick that wants me to get her some mollies, is that guaranteed pussy? And Metro said, yes, maybe even for the crew too. That was in 2012. That's a crazy one. Got your little sister on the molly. Should have ran through the whole squad. That's lyrics, but still, you shouldn't be tweeting that out. 2012 is crazy. You're trying to throw molestation charges at niggas be. Don't know what that's about. That was in 2012. Leading with little girls. I don't know what that Instagram pic is. Somebody said, LOL, I can't be a pedophile. Oh, so this was actually he said this today. LOL, I can't be a pedophile at 15, nigga. No pedo. He said, and I'm tweeting via web like a fucking child molester. That was in 2012. So in any case, man, like they got him. They got him. And nothing's gonna happen to him. Nothing's gonna happen to him. But now people are further investigating him. They are further investigating him. Because you know, again, some of them things were wild, some of them things were lyrics, but you know, sometimes you just got to keep lyrics to yourself. But again, in 2011 to 2013, it was a different place. Twitter was a totally different place. People were just saying some crazy thing. And again, I'm not shooting bail, but that's just how it was then. It's just like saying the R word back then. It's just like saying the F word back then. Like, again, it's not cool now. We have learned, as you know, and grown as human beings, but those words were more normalized to say. You know, we said those as insults to everybody. But you know, they're just no word now. You just don't say it, and we've evolved this as a human race. So you know, when you say those words, there's gonna be more of a backlash now. So but back then, you know, people were just letting the words fly. They were just letting the words fly. So take it how you will with these tweets, but they got them. So okay, let's move on. So this is serious stuff that I want to pull up. So DJ Academics, he's compromised, but we're gonna he's compromised, but we're still gonna report on it. So Drake's near Drake's crib today, his estate in Toronto, there was a drive-by shooting. They're classifying it as a drive-by. One of Drake's security guards got shot in this drive-by, and they put caution tape in front of Drake's front door. And there were also some details on this situation. We can go ahead and look at this report. It's on the news today.
A shooting has occurred outside the home of Canadian rapper Drake, the incident occurring in the wake of Drake's ongoing beef with fellow rapper Kendrick Lamar. CP24's Courtney Heels is on the scene with more. Courtney, we see the police tape behind you. What more can you tell us?
Good morning, Marcy. I can tell you there is a pretty heavy police presence along this road. This is Park Lane Circle. It's the street that Drake lives on. This is as close to the scene as we can get. You can see they have a Toronto police van here, a couple of officers blocking the road, also yellow police tape here too. Now, Chopper 24, that's our newsroom helicopter, was able to get over Drake's home earlier.
Yeah, I did see the stuff about DJ Mustard too.
Saw some yellow police tape in the courtyard of his home. Also some people going in and out of the house. And as you reported, that CP24 reporting there is a source confirming there was a shooting outside of his home. We do not know if Drake was home at the time, and this is all happening in the wake of this ongoing feud with another artist, Kendrick Lamar. We don't know if there's a connection here just yet.
Now that's when, again, it's just coincidental. It's just coincidental, but I want to give you all just a little bit of backstory on this. This isn't related to Kendrick Lamar. This one in Toronto, I don't think it's related to Kendrick Lamar. And the reason why I say that is because Drake had some choice words about The Weeknd. He had some choice words about The Weeknd. Yeah, I know Ack is still live. I know he's like breaking it down. So if there's some new news, then we'll hop on it. But I'll just say what happened right now. So it's about The Weeknd. It's about The Weeknd because and let me see if I can pull it up. I thought I had it here, but because somebody, I think it was in my mentions, but Jesus Christ, I cannot tell you. But Cash XO, who is The Weeknd's manager, his crib actually got, yeah, here it is. Shout out to Woozilla. So this happened. I think people just kind of gloss past this because it happened on April 29th. I know there's a lot of stuff going on, but security guard got shot out of outside of Cash XO's crib. So I don't think people were initially putting 2 and 2 together. But I think that this is directly related to it. So I think unfortunately, The Weeknd and Drake, this beef is getting into some more serious stuff. I don't think that Kendrick right now and his people are getting to this point where like, man, we trying to take out this dude or anybody related. But I think with The Weeknd and Drake is different. And I said that when Family Matters came out, I was like, man, he got a lot more bars for The Weeknd, man. I was like, I don't know what was going on. I thought y'all were cool, but clearly, he is reigniting the beef. I know that The Weeknd had, a couple bars for Drake on, We Still Don't Trust You. So this is going on right now. So directly after that, now, we hit here May 7th, and now this happened. So I don't know exactly what to think about this right now. I don't have like all the details. I could probably provide some more because he got the inside information. But this is where we're at. So I'm like, man, once you start getting to this, like I'm done, bro. Like I'm done because this is where I didn't want it to get to. Like I said, it's cool being on wax, but once you start getting serious and people start going outside of the music, then that's why I'm like, nah. Like I don't know what bad blood that they got, but I just hope it doesn't, continue to escalate, because now we have shootings near, somebody in The Weeknd's camp, and then right outside of Drake's crib. So, and one of his security guards got shot. So it's getting spooky. It's getting spooky right now. And like I said, this is where, like, if you're fans on both sides or just spectators, we need to take this more serious, because I do not want to see any bloodshed at all. Like when they start getting into street stuff, that's when I'm just like, nah, bro. It's been too many rappers that have passed away over beef, and it doesn't matter what the beef is. If it's actually some gang activity, street stuff, girls, whatever, like I'm done with it. I'm done with it, bro. Like this like I said, it's past that now. Forget the serious allegations, forget all forget all the lies, forget all the truth, forget all that stuff. I want to keep it on wax. Who could outbar the other? Who can make the best music? Once you start getting into this stuff, then that's when I'm like, nope. So also along that, Drake's OVO store in London got vandalized. And look at this corny stuff, bro. Look at this corny stuff. They put "They Not Like Us" in London. In London. Hello. This was like, nah, I'm super bowed out after this. Because that this isn't somebody in Kendrick's camp in London. That this ain't somebody who's affiliated with Kendrick. It's in London, bro. Like, this is stupid. Like, this was somebody who thought it would be funny, who inserted themselves into this beef and decided to do that. This is corny. This is corny. Like, I know that there are rumors that Drake isn't messing with London artists anymore. He hasn't been to London in a while. They said the only person he said he messed with J Hus and Central C, but it's outside of London. So I don't know if like the London gangs don't mess with him anymore, and saw some other videos that suggested that they don't. So again, that's street stuff. I don't know anything about that, especially in London. So I'm not gonna comment on it, but I just thought I'd mention it. But I'm like, bro, it's in London. Like, what do they have to do with anything over here? Okay, you don't like Drake, but doing this is super corny, bro. This is super corny. So I was like, nah, this is when I'm super bowed out. Like, whatever else happens, as long as it stays on wax, like y'all need to keep that there. All right, you have your opinions on each each person or each camp here, but to do this is just super duper corny behavior. Super duper corny behavior, and it's not making it good for Kendrick's side. When you see stuff like this, then it just gives Drake's fans and everybody else ammo to be like, yeah, you know, you're talking about us, but look at what y'all doing here. So that was that. And then I want to bring this up because I've been seeing, now this is just super rumor. This is like as rumors can be. But actually this was, I already had this up, so let me go back. Thought I had the Steve tweet. There it goes. So actually let's before we get on that, because there's more of a discussion. So this came from Discord. So again, take this with a grain of salt, but I want to give y'all just a little bit of history. So Universal Music Group is huge. Universal Music Group is huge. There are so many subsidiary labels under Universal Music Group. So according to this, they were saying that PG Lang, which is Kendrick's label, and EXO, which is The Weeknd, as of yesterday, were asked by UMG, Universal Music Group, to end the beef with OVO, which is Drake. But Kendrick apparently isn't budging at all. He like, no, F that. Why should I apologize? But UMG is pressing hard on their request to squash the beef. Now, I want to let y'all know, man, UMG got a lot of money from this beef. They're getting a lot of money from this beef, especially since Euphoria and Not Like Us went up. Like, they are just like salivating because PG Lang, though Kendrick is still technically under Interscope, so that's how UMG is still involved. But they're saying, this source is saying that they're asking them to end the beef because they're like, yo, like, especially now, especially today, like if The Weeknd and Drake and their camps are getting into it with bloodshed, then yeah, I could totally understand how their label will be like, nah, like we gotta stop this, because if any one of y'all dies, like, and I don't want to say it like that, but this is truly how they think, because they don't care about these artists as people. Let's just keep it on it. They don't care about these artists as people. They're invested in them money wise. They're invested in them financially. So if any of them die, then that's a lot of money that they're losing. If any of them die, that's a lot of money that they're losing. So I think that there is some truth to this. Especially after what happened today. Like I said, you know, I didn't expect it to get to this point, but if they're shooting in Toronto on both sides, I'm like, nah, bro. Like we gotta figure out what's going on, because this shouldn't be happening at all. Like, are y'all really mad at each other, like to the point where y'all want to, you know, do bodily harm to each other or y'all affiliates? I'm like, nah. So that's why I think that there may be some truth to this, that UMG is like, yo, like whatever y'all doing, cut it out. So to continue on, UMG also had a Zoom meeting with all of the parties involved, and they want Kendrick, either directly or said through PG Lang, to post a statement clarifying that Drake isn't a pedophile if Kendrick agrees to end the beef. Now, again, I think that there's some truth to this as well. Maybe not the Zoom meeting, but the details of the situation, because Drake being a pedophile, you know, whether it's true or not, people are investigating it. Even Alba and Preach made a video. On the timeline of Drake being inappropriate. And I want to say this, I don't think that Drake is a pedophile. He hasn't done anything yet to suggest that he is a pedophile, but he does have inappropriate behavior. There's a difference between being called a pedophile and being inappropriate. Yes, he was inappropriate to Millie Bobby Brown, 110%. He was being inappropriate on that stage. Like, I don't know what was going on that stage with that 17-year-old. I don't care what she says on IG. Just at least in America, like how we are, that's inappropriate. It's inappropriate at your age, you know, acting like that with a 17-year-old. So they were pulling up, you know, the various inappropriate thing. They were pulling up the lyrics. I'm like, man, when other people are getting involved and really investigating this stuff, then yeah, you know, people are going to find something. And when they find it, when they find that proof that they're looking for, then it might look bad. It might look bad for Drake. I don't think it's going to ultimately tarnish his overall legacy, his overall career, but it will put a stain on it. It will put the stain on it. So he has definitely been inappropriate. That's true, you know, and, you know, Joe Budden told him, you need to stop messing with these young girls. But I don't think that everybody really realized or forgot or just, you know, glossed by it of the situations where Drake has been inappropriate with younger girls. Like the other one was a high school volleyball team, which this one was dealing with I'm just like high school basketball, high school volleyball. Like Drake, at your old age, unless you know somebody, unless you know somebody on the team, like you're directly involved with them, I don't think you should be going to these games and, you know, getting buddy with some high schooler. Like that's weird. That's weird. I'm sorry. Like you shouldn't be doing that. And on the volleyball team, I know back in the day, apparently he has a goddaughter. He has a goddaughter who's been very, very active. Actually, I think people have been pressing her on this situation, and she's being dangerous too. About the Kendrick Lamar claim, but we'll get to that in a second. But apparently through a high school basketball team, somebody was making beats, somebody was producing, and apparently he befriended this person, and she was picking on it. So it was a good number of inappropriate situations. That's all I'm gonna say. So continuing on with this, so Drake is losing the beef in UMG's eyes. So from their perspective, the sooner that the beef ends, the better. And they also said the pedo accusations directed at Drake are costing UMG, Nike, and other parties a lot of money. And this is where, again, this fourth point, I just said it already. I knew that before I even read the last point. Yes, it's costing them money, bro. Costing them money. And that's the bottom line. The bottom line is always the money. So if you're costing money with these allegations, yeah, they're trying to end it. They're like, nah, this needs to end now. And they're, you know, apparently according to this, they're trying to make Kendrick apologize and say that he's not a pedo. So like I said, take this with a grain of salt, because it is one of the hot rumors right now. Yeah, don't put too much, you know, claim on this, but you know, some of this stuff does sound true, because again, if the bottom line is money and this is costing them money now, then yeah, they're trying to cut this. They're trying to cut this. So that's that. And then also I didn't have the tweets here, but Axe said that another diss track was supposed to drop today. And he was like, I don't know which crew, but you know, I don't think that, especially at this point, that somebody in Kendrick's crew would have told him that they would be dropping the diss track. But you know, everybody thinking to Drake, even on that tweet, they said it was that they think it was Drake, and they say he's trying to make up for the Hard Part 6 because he saw how people just didn't like it. He saw how people just didn't like it. So he said that the diss track was supposed to drop today, but due to the shooting, it didn't drop. So I don't know if we're going to continue, but like I said, I don't think anything needs to drop tonight. Please give us a freaking break. Like, give us 2 days. Like, just have us chill. And then it was another video that literally just got shared. That just got shared in the chat. That Media Takeout apparently had, but they were saying that Kendrick made a diss track with Pusha T. And Pusha T's verse was already done, and Kendrick needs to finish his. And they saying that the diss track is going to drop with them too. So again, a lot of rumors are flying. So we'll see what ends up happening. Like I said, me personally, I think I am uninvested in it, especially with these serious allegations going on and the shootings that happen. But you know, I'm gonna listen to the diss tracks if there are more. But I just, like I said, we're just gonna continue with these angles. Then I think I'm done. But speaking of the last angle, Roy and Mal, they had their podcast today come out, and OVO Mal was glazing heavy. He was not objective at all. And the thing that I'm more mad at, I don't care that, you know, because I'm fully disagreeing on him saying that the Hard Part 6 was the best diss track out, and that Drake was winning clearly, and then not being fair with the whole, hey, he fed him lines. Like, why aren't y'all believing that he manipulated Kendrick? But the most important thing he said during his rant when he was screaming was he said that, you know, Kendrick beat his wife, he beat his fiance, and he didn't say allegedly. Like, he said it, he was like, this is real shit. And I'm like, that's dangerous, because you are a popular podcaster and you can be treated as you're treated as a journalist here. You have a huge platform. If I said it, you know, I could be sued. Like, anybody could be sued for defamation of character. But if I said it, it doesn't hit the same as when you are saying it. And that was the problem that I had. I'm like, Ma, that's dangerous, bro, because you're saying that this is real stuff. Don't say that, bro, because if we're going with the angle of we're looking for the facts, where are the facts, and you say that, that's dangerous. That's dangerous. And that's all I was trying to say. Yeah, it's dangerous on what Kendrick is saying about Drake too. And we literally just broke it down. But like that stuff, if you're saying it and trying to say that it's real, I'm like, nah, bro, that's super dangerous. I don't like that. And then the girl who I said earlier, who I mentioned earlier, who is Drake's goddaughter, she was saying that she has the receipts on it too, and that is true, but it's not her story to tell. And I'm like, that's also dangerous, lady. Like, you cannot say that stuff. You cannot say that stuff, because if that ends up not being true, then they can sue the pants off you. They can sue the pants off you. That's dangerous. You cannot be saying that stuff unless you have the cold hard facts. So like I said, both of them lying. You know, it is what it is. I think that Kendrick still painted his picture better than Drake. I think that the allegations are sticking better than Drake's allegations, because Drake doesn't really have anything. Like, if we're just gonna go off of you beat your fiance and one of the kids might not be yours, I don't think that holds as much weight as you're a pedophile, you're a piece of shit, you're a deadbeat dad, and you know, you pop pills, you have a gambling problem, you're inappropriate with younger women. I think that what Kendrick is saying is holding more weight. But like I said, both of them lies, and you know, it is what it is. It's a rap battle, and you know, and that's that. But like I said, once you start getting into the serious allegations, that's when it becomes, you know, not fun, because people are truly trying to look for, you know, whether this stuff is true or not. And that's where we start getting dangerous. So like I said, I know a secret, but I can't tell you. You might want to. Yeah, exactly. I know a secret, but I can't tell you. I hate when people do that. Like, man, I'm gonna tell you something, and then you say, well, what? And then they say nothing. Like, I'm like, well, why'd you even say something? Because now I'm wondering what you're trying to tell me. That's whack. Just don't say anything at all. I agree with that. So that's where we're at right now. Like I said, we'll see when it's gonna happen. I'm sure we're going to continue talking about this, because this is truly transcended just the music world. Truly transcended the music world. Like, we have professors who are breaking down this beef. You have TNT and the Dodgers playing a diss track, you know, at their stadiums and arenas. Like, it is gone past just dissing. It is gone past beef. And like I said, this is very interesting. I think that at this point, you know, this might be bigger than Nas and Jay-Z with the Ether takeover moment. Now, Ether literally became a verb. Like, you're like, hey, that person got ether. Like, none of these tracks have gotten there yet, but there are definitely some quotables. I think more quotables right now on Kendrick's side than on Drake's side. But you know, I did find myself humming Family Matters today. Like I say, it's a great diss track. But when we get into the serious allegations, like, all right, if y'all are claiming that this stuff is true, then let's just talk about it and prove it. Otherwise, just stop saying it and just go back to, like, I'm gonna beat your ass, like, you ain't shit, and you know, I'm a better rapper than you. And you know, stuff like that, that's safe. Stuff like that that's safe. But just let's not get into serious allegation. Let's not. Euphoria alone does have hella quotable, but you know, people are denying that. All people talk about will push up this Metro, shut your whole ass up and make some drums and Pip Squeak pipe down, you know, stuff like that. But not as many quotables as Euphoria, but not like us has hella quotables. You know what I'm saying? Like this man he hit you with different perspectives, different angles with his songs compared to Drake. And like I said, that's just the objective way to, you know, go about it. You know, I'm not trying to glaze Kendrick, but they say I just think he's just a better rapper overall, and I think he's a better storyteller. Like, and I think Drake truly does not have that much, you know, truth on Kendrick. Because again, Kendrick gets a recluse, and that's just how it is. But Drake is more forward facing. I said that before, so he has more stuff that he can talk about. You know, and it's supposed to be a rap, but I know, right? I know. But the last thing we'll talk about in this, and then we'll move on to the gaming news. But I've seen this take a lot. Said Amigos was not lit until Drake remixed Versace. This is what Maul said. It's just and I want to really stop this narrative. Drake, yes, has helped other artists. He has 100% helped other artists, but we cannot say that you know, these artists are were nothing, or we're going to be nothing without Drake. That's unfair. And it's obviously, it sounds like some Christopher Columbus stuff. Like, I discovered you, and you know, I made you hot. I heard Versace way before Drake hopped on the remix. I heard Tony Montana from Future way before Drake hopped on the remix. There are certain people that will be popping regardless of whether Drake was a feature or not. I'm saying especially the artists down in Atlanta. Especially the artists down in Atlanta. And Steve said it really, really well. He said, always hated these takes. Migos and Future were bound for greatness. If you from the South, you know that. The motion was already crazy before Drake stepped into the situation. All he did was speed up the clock. This is a great take. Shout out to Steve. Like, this is 100% my thoughts and sentiments as well. He just sped up the clock. Yes, he did make them go global with hopping on there. Yes, he does have the Midas touch, but we're not going to sit here and act like you made their career. And if we want to argue this, if you are so good at making these artists careers, then what's going on in your own camp, brother? What's going on in your own camp, brother? What outside of The Weeknd and maybe possibly Party Next Door, what's going on with the other rappers in your camp? If you're a boss, why can you not make them high? What about Smiley? Like you tried to get 4 bats on there. He signed for an EP, you know, allegedly. So, but I think he saw the writing on the wall. Like, I ain't signing with you. Like you gonna put me in the sweatshop. Like the division, I feel like they could be bigger. What's going on with them? Roy Woods, like your camp ain't hot shit, bro. Your camp ain't hot shit. Your producers are. Shout out to Boy Wonder. Shout out to Fierce. Shout out to Fierce. But what's going on with your own camp? That proves it right there. If you can't make everybody hot, you gotta look within, brother. You gotta look within. These people would have been hot without you. These people would have been hot without you, and that's just 100% fact. Like, you tried to talk that boss shit to Rick Ross. Unfortunately, you know, numbers wise, we do have to look at Rick Ross. Yeah, all of Rick Ross's biggest hits, you know, did have you on it. That's true, but we're not gonna act like, and I said this before when Rick Ross initially jumped into beef, we're not gonna act like Rick Ross wasn't hot with Hustling. Like, you weren't on that remix, but other people hopped on that remix. But Hustling was doing numbers, bro. Hustling was doing numbers before a remix happened. And then you came in and you and Rick Ross had, you know, made a lot of good music together. But we're not going to act like Rick Ross wouldn't be successful without you. That's 100% false. So I'm just like, and they tried to say the same thing with Kendrick. Like, man, well, you know, if it wasn't because of Drake, you know, Kendrick wouldn't have been high because he brought him on this tour. Again, Kendrick was another situation. He was bubbling before that tour even happened. I think he still would have toured and still would have been very successful because the West really has his back. And Drake low-key brought the West back, man. He made the West active again with Not Like Us. Again, I don't think that he anticipated that track to go like it is. And it's going to continue to go. He brought the West back, bro. They are active out here. Do you understand? They are active, bro. They're sea-walking to a diss track on you, my nigga. They're sea-walking to a diss track. 35, Level Boy, 35, pedophile. Like, they are sea-walking to this shit. I don't think people understand, bro. It's insane. It is insane. So, I totally understand how, like, Drake is probably his back against the wall. He like, bro, F this. Like, I wasn't expecting this to happen. Like, you are sunning me right now. You hit me with the same thing that I did to Meek. Like, Meek had to shut up and he made another track with you after that. Like, it was unfortunate, but you know, it happened. It happened. You know, Meek is a special situation, but you know, Drake has always been the one. He's always been the victor. But I think for the first time ever outside of Push, because again, I said Push put a chink in his armor, but he didn't destroy him. You know, he didn't destroy his whole legacy. But this one, if the pedo allegations find any traction, then like we're finding the facts here, then yeah, that could further tarnish Drake's entire legacy. Will it fully kill it? No, but it could have a bigger lasting effect than, hey, you hit a child. You know, hiding a child didn't tarnish him, but it definitely helped push to win that battle. That's for sure, because we didn't know about it. And they were like, hey, you know, Drake, that's kind of messed up, bro. Like, you ain't taking care of your kid and you're hiding your baby mama too. Like, you ain't even in a relationship. And I find it messed up too, man. Drake keep talking about Kendrick relationship, but where's yours, bro? You ain't even gotten to a point. You got engaged to somebody yet? Like, what's your relationship looking like? Again, it's a lot of hypocrisy on both sides. I'll admit that. Definitely a lot of hypocrisy on both sides. And that's why I feel like they're just out of steam. They're out of things to talk about. But, you know, Kendrick apparently has a nuke. And again, they're alluding to it might be the X situation. So, I don't know. You might saying it's an X situation. Why is... Hello? Oh, yeah, well, I was thinking I said later. So yeah, he said finish him tight. I don't know. I don't know. He said you argue Drake has taken critical damage from his 3 major rap beefs. Do we? I like I said, I would only argue Push. I mean, are we counting this one right now, Black? Are you counting this in your argument right now? So I don't know. I don't know if it's a finish him type new, but Ghost Rider allegations are true. When Trust his pen, he was hiding his kid. And you talking about those? I mean, like I said, I argued the Ghost Rider allegations. I don't think people care. I don't think people truly care. Like I said, I think that's a facade now. I think it's a facade. I think that rappers think they care. You know, the purest rappers, like you said, I got a nice pen. You know, they care, but the overall public does not care. They just want to hear it good music. So they don't care. They don't care about it. Like I said, I care. You know, I think that all rappers should be writing their own raps, especially if it's your story. But you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. I think that we're a small community though, Lizzie. I think that we're a small community, but you know, the overall public, the overall fans overpower us, so they don't care. But like I said, Drake would have been out the paint. Meek would have destroyed him. He showed proof. Like we didn't know who Quentin Miller was. We had no clue who Quentin Miller was until he let us hear that reference track, and it did nothing to him. It did nothing. People were like questioning for like 0.2 seconds, but like I said, once he brought out back to back, man, it was over. It was over. Nobody cared. Nobody cared about it. Unanimously, people thought that Meek lost. But Pusha was a different situation. Hiding the kid was major. Like I said, that officially put a chink in his armor. But we're gonna see what's going on with these pedo allegations. Like I said, that one is serious. That one is serious. So